Mention a church and you'll probably get a mixed response. If you talk to some, they may describe it as being friendly, exciting, a community, a family, a place to make friends. Some may even say that it's the most important thing on earth. However, you could speak to others and they may describe it as being boring, irrelevant, outdated, exclusive, damaging, or as one recent Facebook comment suggested, nonsense. Whatever your opinion, it has certainly stuck around for a long time. And in fact, well over 2 billion people worldwide would consider themselves members of it. In fact, in recent years, London has seen, on average, 2 new churches starting a week. Even in the current crisis, many churches have seen an astronomical increase in their average attendance. On Easter Sunday, here at New Hope Church, we had around 6 times our usual attendance viewing our live stream service over a 24-hour period. So the question is, what on earth is the church even for? Why is it even still here? Well, to answer that, we need to look to the Bible. It's only there that we can find God's plan, God's blueprint for the church. If we look at the Old Testament, thousands of years before Jesus walked the earth, God instructed Moses to build a special tent for him so that he could dwell in the midst of his people. Later, this tent became a temple, and this was the place where heaven and earth met, and people could come to worship the one true God. First the tent and then the temple. These were the places that God had chosen to meet with his people. But it was only through ceremonies and sacrifices that his people could come near to him. Now, the exciting thing is that Jesus changed all of this. God's plan was always to be with his people, and through Jesus it was all made possible. It's no longer the temporary, special ceremonies or rules that allow people to come near to God, as they were all completed fully in Jesus. The ongoing sacrifices are now finished because Jesus has made the perfect sacrifice of himself. And this means that we can be as clean as him in the eyes of God. So now, instead of being in a specific room or a specific building, God now dwells by his Spirit in his people, who collectively the Bible calls the church. Temple buildings are done and over with. The church is not the building, but the very people who meet within it. Each and every Christian is now a temple of God, the Holy Spirit, and we are now the place where heaven and earth meet, not the building. So to answer the question, what is the church for? It is where God himself meets with his creation. The church exists to bring the glory of God to the world. What Jesus began, the church is to continue. The church exists to proclaim the love of God shown through Jesus. But I would be gravely mistaken if I suggested the church has always done this, that it's always done what it's been called to do. However, this does not diminish its power, its purpose, or its necessity. We, the church, are the fellowship of the flawed, but it's because of this that we rely totally on God's goodness. Without the church, there is no hope. This is by no means a statement of arrogance, but one of fact. God has promised to dry every tear and make the world we know into the world we know it should be. And it's through the church that he's decided to achieve this. Churches are diverse and exciting places. We do things that you may feel are strange and different, but I promise you it is only here that any one of us can truly come to know who we are and why we are here. In a world where everything we know seems to be changing at a pace we cannot possibly comprehend, why not join us one Sunday, perhaps even this Sunday, to find out about the God who the Bible says is the same yesterday, today, and forever. I walked into a church for the first time when I was 20 years old and experienced a love and a friendship like I had never experienced, and it was amazing. But it was there that I met with God himself and my life changed for the better. Consider this as a standing invitation to stop by and find out for yourself what church really is.